Our next story is the PS5 revisit again. I'll say it. Yes, I know there's a lot of murmur out there from all of you. Why are you revisiting something we can't even buy right now? But if you wanted to buy right now, this is the review that will tell you should you. So design as head-turning as it was at launch. A lot of people alienated at that time. I think it's grown on everybody. Plastic stand that comes with it is still flimsy, easily breakable. So I don't know why they've not been able to do something about that. New console covers have come, of course, launched to change the white and black combination, get a different change. Heatsink size has been reduced, which leads to newer models running 1 to 2 degrees hotter. The support for extra SSD slot has been added, but I don't have any better news for you. It's still as unavailable as it was at launch. Price still starts at $39,990.
The PlayStation 5 when it came out created waves in most of its aspects. The power, the SSD, the controller, the design, the sales, and the complete lack of availability. And more than a year later, a lot of these things have stayed true to the initial waves. But is there anything that has changed? Did something get better? Did something get worse? All the answers will be here in the next few minutes. Let's start with the design. It is just as head-turning as it was the day it was revealed. And it is also just as much of a pain to easily place around your TV. The plastic stand it comes with is necessary to keep it stable, but at the same time, it is flimsy and easily breakable. From something that is still as bad, here is something that has seen a big change. The faceplates. Sony has launched new faceplates, or console covers as they like to call it, in different colors apart from white. And they have the controllers to match them too. Going inside the design, there is a change. At least in the newer units. The heatsink, which used to be much bigger, has been reduced in size, which reduced the weight of the game station by a bit. But this leads to another change, which is the console running hotter, by 1 to 2 degrees at the very least, which, while not significant, might be something to look out for in the future. But the internal component that was positively impacted is the slot for the extra SSD. It started working as the long-promised software update that enabled the slot arrived. A huge relief for every user as the usable storage on the system was limited to 667 GB. And when it comes to how the model has fared out in terms of performance, it is just as solid, just as fast, and just as quiet. And the controllers? Apart from the drifting directional sticks, the controllers have performed well. The haptics have held up, but what is lacking is developers taking advantage of them. And the white plastic in some cases turns yellow with use over time. But a console is made or broken by the games it has. Most games are bound to look good with the internals that the gaming machine has, but the exclusive titles are the ones that look absolutely stunning. Spider-Man Miles Morales was one of the most beautiful launch titles of the PS5. Then came along Ratchet & Clank and Returnal, PS5 exclusives which took advantage of all the new hardware on the game station. Followed by big titles like Resident Evil Village, F1 2021, It Takes Two, and Deathloop. And all of the titles perform at a consistent 60 frames per second. Privileged and exclusives like Ghost of Tsushima and Spider-Man got beautiful upgrades in terms of frame rate, textures, density, draw distance, and details. And with the titles like God of War Ragnarok, Gran Turismo 7, and Horizon Forbidden West coming out this year, Insomniac Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine coming out in the years that follow, it looks like an exciting future for the PlayStation 5, especially with exclusive titles. The PlayStation 5 has gotten better in most of the aspects and complaints except some. And the biggest complaint of all is the lack of availability. Even with 13.4 million units sold, the shelves mostly remain empty, with the global chip shortage and the unrelenting demand. But despite that, with all the games available, all of the games on the way, and just how well the console has held up so far, it is an even better option than it was at launch. So if you find it in stock, be it the digital edition or the disc one, we would recommend you to get one quickly at the starting price of $39,990.